ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille. Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. To preface tonight's play, as it would be prefaced on the screen, I should smack my lips, glance at the audience, and roar like the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer lion. For we're presenting two of MGM's brightest stars, Jean Harlow and Robert Taylor. I've been hearing about Jean ever since she was a child. My daughter Cecilia used to come home from school and tell me that this little blue-eyed blonde was making so many conquests there weren't enough boys left to go round. At 17, Jean was offered a contract by the Harlow Studios, but the shock of seeing her on the screen was too much for her grandfather. His telephone call from Kansas City resulted in her promise to stop acting. For 8 months, Jean kept her word. Then Grandpop relented, and she went into the lead of Hell's Angels. She has since become quite a figure in the industry. Of Robert Taylor's storybook rise, I told you a few weeks ago when he appeared here in Saturday's Children. Like Lord Byron, he awoke one day to find himself famous. He's just completed his role opposite Greta Garbo in Camille. Tonight, he becomes Count de Nyberg, and Miss Harlow, Madame Saint-Jean, the French words for Mrs. Devil-May-Care. Claude Rains, who started his stage career as a callboy, carpenter, property man, and manager at His Majesty's Theatre, London, will be Napoleon, a character he recently portrayed in Hearts Divided. Starred in The Invisible Man, the first picture he made in Hollywood, Mr. Rains is the only actor who ever appeared in a film without being seen in it. As Fouché, Napoleon's aide, we have C. Henry Gordon, one of the screen's most delightful menaces. Our play is by Victorian Sardou. And nothing remains but to ring up the curtain. Lights, music. The Lux Radio Theater presents Jean Harlow and Robert Taylor in Madame Saint-Jean with Claude Rains and C. Henry Gordon. August 10th, 1792. France is rocked by revolution. In the city of Paris, a rabble mob sweeps onto the Tuileries, thirsting for revenge, intent on the slaughter of their king and queen. Ragged, bearded patriots, eyes hot with the lust of battle, swarm madly in the Rue Saint-Nicaise, their pikes raised high in the air, their voices lifted in a hoarse hymn of hate. Through the crowd comes a young girl, her clothing in shreds, a laundry basket on her arm. She fights past the men, pushing her way toward the end of the street.
Hey, where are you going?
None of your business.
Come back here.
Let me alone.
You want to be pushed full of holes?
I'm going to the Rue de Shot, and you're not going to stop me.
There's fighting down there. You'll get your skull cracked.
Well, it's my skull.
What have you got in that basket? Food?
No, it's not food. It's laundry. There's a nobleman who lives there, and I hear he's going to skip. Well, he owes me for 3 weeks' wash counting this one, and he's not going to skip without paying.
A revolution going on, and all she thinks about is a laundry business.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I know her. Her name is Madame Saint-Jean.
Madame Devil-May-Care, huh? Well, Madame Devil-May-Care, you're a brave little girl, and patriotic, too. Come here and give me a kiss.
Take your dirty hands off me.
What? No kiss for an honest patriot?
You may be a patriot, but you smell of garlic. Sergeant Lefebvre is my man, and if I tell him what you've done, he'll bash your nose.
You tell Sergeant Lefebvre we wouldn't let you cross the Rue de Shot. And if he values your pretty neck, he'll give us a reward.
Go on now. Back to your laundry.
Let me go.
Go on.
Sergeant Lefebvre, he'll fix it. Stop it. Meddling fool, interfering with a lady's business. Wait till Who's there? Come out from behind that wash tub. I know you're there.
Good evening, Catherine.
Oh, it's you, Fouché.
Yes,
What are you doing here?
Nothing very much.
You were hiding, weren't you?
No. I was just resting.
Well, why aren't you out there with the rest of the men where you belong? Ha! You call yourself a patriot. Haven't you got any blood in your veins?
None to spare, and I don't see why I should waste it.
You're afraid.
Now, each to his own trade, my dear. Some men are sent into the world to fight and some to organize. Now, I am an organizer.
You won't get much organizing done behind a wash tub.
Well, that's where you're wrong. Sitting there a while ago, listening to the cannons in the distance, I thought of an excellent plan of action once the Tuileries in our hands.
I suppose you think they'll make you an official or something.
Well, why not? I should make a very good minister.
Well, it won't be Minister of War.
Oh, even that. When the war is over.
You've got about as much chance of being a minister as I have of being a duchess.
I can scarcely imagine you in that character, my dear.
Neither can I. Hey, pour some water in that tub, will you?
Yeah, certainly. Well, besides, they're going to do away with duchesses. Yeah, but they will always need organizers.
Well, when you're a minister, I hope you won't forget that little washing bill you owe me.
Oh, for shame, my dear. Asking favors already. How is it you're so hard on me when you're so obliging to others?
What others?
Well, that young artillery officer. What's his name? Bonaparte. I'm sure you never press him for money.
You know a lot, don't you?
I merely observe things.
Well, Napoleon Bonaparte can have all the credit he wants. He's a soldier and a defender of his country.
Napoleon. What an outlandish name.
It's Corsican, and so is he.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Listen, the fighting's coming closer.
Yes, so it is.
How long have you been here?
An hour, perhaps more.
Did Lefebvre come by?
No.
Well, he might be with that mob, but you better get out.
Well, I can't leave now.
All right, then. Say, if you don't mind having your neck twisted.
What?
Oh, he's very jealous, my Lefebvre.
Oh, not of me.
He's crazy enough to be. Of course, if you want to stay, it's up to you.
Well, I believe I'd have time to get to my rooms. Good night, Catherine.
Who's there?
Let me in.
What are you...
Put down that bar. Put it down.
What?
Put down that bar. Thank you.
And what do you mean by pushing in here as if you owned the place?
I'm sorry, but I've been wounded. I had to get out of the streets.
What's your name?
Does it matter?
Well, it does to me. You're not a Frenchman, are you?
No, Austrian.
Austrian?
For the love of heaven, don't scream.
I'll scream if I want to. Where did you come from?
The Tuileries. I escaped.
A royalist.
Yes, a royalist who has done his duty defending the Queen.
Am I supposed to help you for that?
The Queen is Austrian, too. She's my countrywoman.
If they find you here, they'll rip you to pieces.
Here or anywhere else. I'm throwing myself on your mercy.
All right. Now, what's your name?
Count de Nyperg.
The Count de Nyperg.
Yes. Why do you stare at me?
I haven't seen many noblemen up close.
We're no different from anyone else.
Oh, I guess you're not. There. Now let me see it. Mm-hmm.
They did a good job, didn't they?
Only fair. You're still alive. I'll get something to bandage it with.
You'd rather see me dead, I suppose.
I'd rather I never saw you at all. If Lefebvre knew I'd helped a royalist, he'd throttle me.
Lefebvre?
Oh, you don't know him.
No, of course not.
Let me know if I hurt you. He wants to marry me.
You're very much in love, I suppose.
He is. Hold your arm up and keep it there.
You haven't told me your name yet.
My name?
Well, I'd like to know to whom I'm indebted for all this.
Well, my name's Catherine, but they call me Madame Saint-Jean.
Oh, yes. Devil may care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it suits you.
Yes? What makes you think so?
You'd never be doing this for me if you weren't devil may care. Harboring a royalist is a capital offense among patriots, isn't it?
You mean they'd kill me?
Wouldn't they?
Will you keep your arm up?
I'm sorry.
You're a funny person. You force your way in here whether I like it or not, and then you worry about what might happen to me if they catch you.
Well, I'm not going to stay. I wasn't thinking much about anything when I broke in here. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
If you've finished with my arm, I'll leave now.
No, stay where you are. I'll get you some other clothes. They'd spot you in a minute with that fancy brocaded coat.
Just as you spotted me?
I knew you weren't French. But I guess somehow I knew you weren't like the rest of the mob. You're a gentleman.
You talk like a royalist sympathizer.
Well, I'm not. But that doesn't mean I can't sympathize with one of you.
Thank you.
Well, we'd all have been nobles if we could have been. Even though right now I'm glad I'm not.
You should be.
Well, I guess you can go now, Count de Nyperg.
I don't know how I can thank you for this.
Don't try.
And if I get out safely and if there's anything I can ever do for you,
You'll let me know, won't you?
I guess I won't need much help.
I don't believe you will. Who's that?
Oh, Carter.
It's Lafayette. Quick, get into the bedroom.
Yes, but...
Don't stop to talk. Go in there.
Oh, open the door.
Now, don't come out until I tell you. You understand?
Yes, very well.
Open up. Open up, Carter. It's Lafayette.
I'm coming. Don't be in such a rush.